What if we had a double engine failure? Then we'd be really screwed, wouldn't we? Oh, what? Both engines failed. Oh, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Untitled Projects. We are continuing our quest to find interesting things that you can see on Google Maps, of which a few are in the Ukraine, of which one of them is Chernobyl. I know a lot of people have been there already. Also, check out this really weird plane stuck in the middle of planet Earth. I'm not sure what's going on here. Interesting little bug. I have no idea how that happened, but just spooled it up and it was there. Crazy. Anyway, so we are going to go to Chernobyl, and I've got some, as always, some sweet figures and facts to bore you to death. So probably best watch this while you're falling asleep. So we're going to start off in the Ukraine, which is around about here. Everyone knows that, well, most people know that we have Ukraine, Belarus, and then possibly Lithuania. Can't remember, but we'll find out. So probably a lot of you have already been to Chernobyl, but there's some quite interesting things that I found out that you might not know. You might know, but you might not know. So I'm going to hit you with those as we're going along. So where are we going to start? Got to follow this river all the way up. It is Chernobyl is up this area. I think it's up here. And the last time I flew there was from this little airport here, which is UKIK Dimer Airstrip. So I'm going to use that as our departure. It's really, really small. It's literally, there we go, look. Nothing, 1,500 feet. It's just over a kilometre, so it's not really long enough for anything big. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get something big, and I'm going to go for my Textron Aviation ADDC, kidding, ADAC. And I'm going to put some sweet livery on it. That's standard. We're going to go ambulance because why not? And it looks awesome. So let's get going. Okay, we're back. You can see how small that is. That's super small. I mean, even the planes they've got there are probably a bit too big. So yellow livery looking nice. Ambulance is pretty cool. Makes this plane look like you've got a real task ahead of you to shoot. I like that. That's nice. First things first, get rid of that master alarm. Let's get the engines up just a little. We're going to change the weather. Oh, scattered clouds already. A little bit of... Oh, that's live. Okay. Okay. The scattered clouds thinks it's live. Let's add some snow. Not too much snow. Just a little, just a dusting, as you say in the UK, because that's all we get. We sometimes get maybe like a foot or two, and then all hell breaks loose and no one can do anything and no one can get to school or work, and it's just madness. So let's add a wind layer. Let's get a side wind. In fact, that's a tailwind that we're going to have. What are they complaining about now? That's going to be a side wind. Let's get the frequency up, speed up. Some gusts in there. Well, gusts down here, sorry. Oh, looking a bit gnarly. Windsock doesn't change, as always. Be a nice little addition for that to actually show you what's going on, because that's their job in real life. So, done. Right, now we've really got to... In fact, before we do that, let's get rid of this master alarm, see what it's complaining about. ITT already? Oh, sign. So when it's cold like this, you got to change. You've got to change the pitot heater and all that kind of stuff. So you've got to turn all this on. Make sure that's auto. In fact, let's do it without the yoke in the way. So we have anti-ice for everything. Ice. Brake de-ice. Oh no, that came back. Yoke visibility down. That's not working. Oh, sorry, that's toggle yoke. Okay, so that's all looking pretty awesome. Right. So like I said, this runway has got nothing to it, so you've got to absolutely get your ITT up, get your torque up, the whole 9 yards. Wait till it's all red, and you get yourself a nice little master alarm. And you should be. That's still going to build for a while. Yep. We need to absolutely get it up as much as possible, and then parking brake off. This rotates at about 110, and you'll see we run out of runway very, very quickly. It's a bit laggy today. Sorry about that. Oh, was that plane trying to go somewhere? Shouldn't be. Oh, see, that's what happens. Pilot error. All right, so now we're rolling down the field in the snow like a really bad pilot. We're going to go for this little gap here if we can. Oh, we really do need to get some speed. And then we're just going to just lift her up, gear up. Flaps up. Flaps up, and then we're going to, nose is going to pop down. There we go. Right. So we've got to turn northeast. And I'll show you where we're going to go on this map here, because it's way more professional than having the one up here. I'm trying to be more professional now. So it's here. So around this area we're trying to get to. Let's zoom out a little bit. And you can see we're going to go straight, take a beeline for that. I'm going to stay pretty low because the cloud ceiling is, I don't know, about 4,000 feet or something. You ain't going to see nothing at 4,000. So, oh, getting a bit buffered. Right, so that looks like a good heading. Meters low. Let's level her out. Yeah, that wind is a bit crazy cray. There we go. Right, I'm going to set it on this course for a little bit. It's probably going to take about 10 minutes to get to. Let's throttle back. Sure. Thanks, guys. Tuned. Oh, it is. I'm really getting buffeted here. Maybe this is a little too much. Is this too crazy? Oh, another plane. Or is it a missile? No, it's not. Okay, oh, look at this. This is not good. I'm going to throttle her back just a little, because I'm going to overspeed like a crazy fool. I'm going to get back into the green. There we go. I think we can hold it about there without overstressing the aircraft. See you in a minute. All right, we're getting close now. And the first sign you always see, well, the one time I've done it, is this abandoned motorway or highway or whatever you want to call it, which when you put a bit of snow on, you can see that it's totally abandoned and not a real road. So that is the first thing you see if you're coming from where I'm coming from, which is bearing northeast. In fact, we're going about northeast. So yeah, this whole network of roads, all of this is totally abandoned. I think they've got a radius of something like 50 miles where you can't live. There you go, that's that main highway here. that gets covered in snow. We might try and have an emergency landing on that later. So let's go back inside, have a look at the map, because I think... So, we're slightly in the wrong place because we're supposed to be up here, but that's fine because we're going to hit this river first. Let's turn off autopilot.
Generic Romeo Alpha uniform, please expedite your descent to flight level 39.
I'm not generic. I also ain't a Romeo. God damn it. How rude. Okay, so we're going to follow these wetlands. You don't have to, of course. You can not make a mistake like me and just go straight for Chernobyl if you want. So I'm going to head up river. And I'm still going to stay at this height. Because it was getting a little windy. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, I was getting buffeted. So I'm just going to gain a little bit of height now. Just slowly. There we go, so just a gradual ascent. Let's actually go in the right direction.
Generic Romeo Alpha uniform, you are 300 feet below your assigned altitude.
Okay.
Climb and maintain flight level 390.
Alright, so I'm just going to continue along here. Probably another couple of minutes. And then we'll get back to some awesome facts and figures about Chernobyl. Alright, so not far off now. So we're just about to head... Let's turn this... turn it back on, turn it off. So this here is the first town or city or whatever it was of... This is actually called Chernobyl. And I think this is probably here way before the nuclear power station, probably here for other reasons. This is possibly a raw resource area, I'm not sure. Obviously all these buildings look industrial, but that's just the algorithm that they use. So all of this lot, all completely abandoned. But a lot of people think the power station's called Chernobyl, but it is obviously called Chernobyl Power Station, but this is Chernobyl. It doesn't get nearly as much attention. Nice little island there. No cars. Yeah. So if you actually want to find Chernobyl Power Station, you've got to follow this road up, and it's just up in this area here. Not too far away. Alright, so here it is. You can see it in the distance. It's actually not far off what it looks like in real life, so no terrible rendering here, I don't think. I mean, it looks like an industrial site anyway. Flight Simulator makes everything look like an industrial site, unless you've got some artists to come in and rebuild, you know, all the buildings the way they should look. So let's have a look outside. Get that on. So yeah, here's the lake. This was used to obviously cool everything down because everything gets super hot when it's nuclear, as we know. And the site of the accident was actually this area here. So reactor 4 obviously had a complete meltdown, like the diva it is, and totally exploded. And I think everyone probably knows the story behind that, but I don't know whether it was negligence or whatever it was, but it just completely blew itself up. And then of course they had to put a big old concrete dome over the top of it, which doesn't really show here. And what more can you say? They also had to use a lead sarcophagus to stop all the radiation, and some poor souls had to build all of that, who then half of them suffered from radiation poisoning, as you know. So it wasn't great. It wasn't great for anyone, really. So let's get into not overspeed. Well, let's get into a little fixed pattern. And here's the actual abandoned city of Pripyat, where you get all the famous pictures from. But let's Let's get into a pattern, a holding pattern, and just fly around a little bit. So, 1982, sorry. 1986, what am I talking about? Was obviously the famous catastrophe when the main reactor blew up. But there were a few other little things that happened before that. I mean, in 1982, Reactor 1 had a partial meltdown. And that became super diva-ish and did whatever the hells it wants. But that was all maintained and sorted out. And then, of course, when the actual Reactor 4 catastrophe happened in 1986, that was when everyone was worried. And they thought, well, you know, nuclear power maybe isn't even that safe. Up to that point, the Russian government and the Ukrainian government, obviously was part of Russia at that point, the USSR, marketed nuclear power as the safe power, the safest way, safer than any other form of power. Which is interesting. Russia's good at doing that kind of thing. But obviously after that reactor, everyone thinks it was shut down, right? In 1986. Oh no, it wasn't. Apparently it was too expensive or too much of a loss for the area to shut down this nuclear power station because it powered so many areas. It powered this entire region. So they couldn't shut it down. And instead they kept it going until there was another turbine fire in 1991 in Reactor 2. So Reactor 1, Reactor 2 and Reactor 4 have all had their little meltdowns. Did they shut it down? Oh no, they didn't shut it down. It took them until 1996. And that was just following pressure from foreign governments saying, guys, come on. You've contaminated Norway. All of the sheep are looking super weird and acting strange. And essentially you're getting nuclear waste into our water supplies. Who wants to contaminate Norway? It's lovely. And the people are lovely too. And that's when they had to shut it down. But only after pressure from foreign governments. That's that piece of knowledge. But it was interesting when I found that out, because I did initially think they just shut it down. And then, of course, the main city, like I was saying, Pripyat? Who knows? This is the one where you get all those famous pictures from, and it does look abandoned, doesn't it? They've done well to make it look abandoned. Ice H there. They had everything. They had hospitals, they had clubs, bars, swimming pools, theme parks. I think that was actually the theme park there with obviously the famous, what do you call it? One of those wheels that you go and sit in and it goes, Ferris wheel. There we go. And yeah, they had the whole lot. They didn't have to leave. And that was the whole point. You don't have to leave. So you can work at the factory. And that was socialism. Good times. All right. So that's it, I think. Time to go and do something more interesting or get back on Google Maps and try and find some weird, crazy stuff. But I think first, we should probably try and do a crazy landing. Let's do that. Let's go inside the cockpit. And let's possibly... Oh, you know what? Let's put this baby on. Active pause is a blessing. And let's go in here and have a look, see if we can shut some things down, make it really difficult. Okay, so left engine. All the way down. Prop. Feathered. Anything else we can do? We've got some weird sounds coming now. So we're flying on... Oh, has it stopped? It's stopping. This is going to be great. Oh, yeah, it's spinning down. Yeah, that's going to feather. Let's go outside. So let's try and go for this. We've got a forced engine failure. It's just doing whatever the hells it wants. So we're going to lose a lot of power. We're going to be sliding to the left. So we're going to have to enforce some rudder. And I don't think we're going to use any flaps because we're not going to have enough speed. Right. Let's do this. Force this off. Okay, here we go. Already losing speed.
126 heavy contact Minsk Center on 119
So I've got to
125.
get that whole right engine all the way up. Master alarm. Yeah, I know. Engine failure. Right, so this is the only place it looks like we can land around here. Let's get the gear down. Check for the green lights. Yeah, I think it's down. Who knows? Let's watch our point. Okay, so it's over here, I do believe. It's right below us. Okay, this is what we're going for. What if we had a double engine failure? Then we'd be really screwed, wouldn't we? Oh, what? Both engines failed.
Generic uniform Romeo 2307 ATS Center continuous planned.
Right, so this is the only place we can land around here. There's no other airports, by the way. The one I did take off on from was the only one I could see. Master alarm. What's our speed like? Oh, this has actually got loads of trees on it. Oh, what? No. Turn around. Just realised the terrible truth that has pylons in it. We're going to have to find somewhere else. And we're losing speed. Oh, no. Maybe my little challenge is actually going to be doomed. Oh, I am losing height. Okay, I can maintain this just about. This is getting gnarly. Yeah, I know. Got a failure. Okay, so we're just about. We're not climbing anymore. Oh no, we are. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. Now my engines are actually off. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah! Oh. Let's miss all these planes. Not planes, sorry, let's miss all these trees. How can I mix a tree up with a plane? And there's a little engine failure. Nice. Would have been cool to actually stop the engine, but I did try and feather it. Oh, sliding it to a stop. Nice. And there we go. Chernobyl and a single engine failure landing. See you next time.